So good evening everybody and welcome back to F1 here on FTRL. It is day 2 of our action here from the Mexico circuit, round 4 of Div 2. And yeah, we've got another exciting race to look forward to. Last night, of course, we saw a brilliant battle for the win between Tico and Tom Robbo, which went in favour of Tom Robbo, his first FTRL victory. Hopefully we'll have more of the same great action on track tonight. Here now, for the first time in a long time, I've joined on commentary in Div 2 by a debutant in the commentary box. It is EVG Glowsticks, aka Jack. Good evening, Jack.
Good evening.
How you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm alright, mate, yep. How are you?
Good, good, very good, very good. I'm looking forward to some more great on-track action. So, now, of course, you're brand new to us in the sense this is your first time out, but have you seen much of FTRL before?
I watched the Portugal race.
Portugal race, yeah, that was not the most dramatic ones for Div 2. Now, Div 2 has a tendency to, it can be literally anything. The dramatic, expect the expected with Div 2, and also expect the ridiculous as well. So we shall see what tonight brings us in. So hopefully the guys will put on a show for you. That's the first couple of cars heading onto track, and we have got a familiar face, but it's the first time we've seen him this season. Of course, he dropped out the end of last season, but with a couple of spaces available tonight, we are bequeathed the pleasure of Katamise. He is back tonight, filling in for Aaron at Alfa Romeo. And obviously you probably won't know the history behind Katamise. Katamise is a controversial character in FTRL in that he is a very quick boy, but he does seem to attract accidents like a magnet, so he will be one to watch tonight. Just to give you a bit of warning.
Finally linked my Twitch. So.
So they've got FTRL on 2 streams tonight. As Katamise heads around into the baseball stadium and go on board with the Alfa Romeo man and do a lap of the circuit here. And so comes into the final corner. Got a nice wide entry, runs out to the edge. Obviously not going tight, but it's doing the outlap. Let's get this flying lap underway then. On to start finish up with DRS opens at the start finish line. And then it is this long run down towards turn 1. Of course, expect to see lots of slipstreaming here in the race. And into turn 1, this tight right-hander. Plenty of curve on the inside there. Perhaps too much, bounce the car up, but through 2 and 3 nicely. Uses the curb on exit and into the second DRS zone. Then the short sprint down towards turn 4. Again, another really good overtaking opportunity for the race. Expect to see wheel-to-wheel action there. Then turn 5 very tight. Use the curb on exit. And hook in a little bit wider the apex there through 6 and 7. And now coming then towards this very tricky S section. This is the area where invalidations are high. Also watch out for spins, Katamise riding the curbs. Yes, he drops down a gear there just to settle the car. Oh, big slide! Catches it though just as he goes into the third DRS zone. And now into sector 3, the baseball stadium. Turns right then into the old stadium, the grandstands on all sides. Looks through the slow section and then into the final corner. Fixes nicely. Now he's going to go tight off the final corner. No, he picks the wider line. Crosses the line on the first time on the board is a 16.4 from Katamise. Warm up on the
PlayStation's just having a little bit of troubles.
Which is the way. We've all had a few problems tonight with PSN, but thankfully everything is back running in time. Now, on board with Daft Chip now, and he told me off for not going on board with him in qualifying. So I've just got on board with him, and he's crashed into the wall and lost a wheel. So there is the curse of the commentator, striking hard. I do apologise, Dave. He wanted me to go on board. I went on board, and you've had an accident. So we'll maybe he will rescind that request to go on board with him again. On board then with Oscar now. Now Oscar's one of 2 drivers currently out on the medium tyres. Just two drivers attempting the alternate strategy so far. He's gone past the wreckage of the Williams. This section of Zombie goes fastest now on a 15.7. Man going on to provisional pole. Oscar then into sector 3. Oh, got a bit too much curve on the entrance to the stadium. Looks left. Such a slow corner. Into the right then, Aaron Trucker's gone third fastest and 16.8. Here comes Oscar to the line. And it is a 16.3 for Oscar. Of course, he's on the medium tyre, so that is a very handy lap. Alex Pixie drops in just behind him on the 16.3 as well. What about Scuba Steve? How is he getting on? He's heading in sector 1 at the moment. So Evil Chris now goes second, and Matman goes fastest of all. Matman finding some speed for Ferrari 1-2, so good to see Matman back at the sharp end. Captain Chubbs now splits the Ferraris. Going second, Casey Bernard drops into fourth. So lap time's now starting to come in thick and fast. Pagani coming out of the final corner. He's just starting a flying lap. We'll go pick up Scuba Steve again. He's getting on. A bit twitchy there through the S's. Okay, into the third sector and into the stadium he comes now. Both Mercedes trying out this alternate strategy. Serve them well in the race if they can stay inside the top 10. You see there he stays tight out the final corners, touches the pit wall and goes only 10th fastest, a 17.0 for him. So 7 tenths down on his teammate. Feel that will not be enough to stay in the top 10, so I expect Scuba Steve to be out again on the soft tyre. And we're on board and watching the reigning champ. Pagani coming out of the S's there, flicks wide over the curbs but stays within track limits. Purple middle sector for the reigning champ in the McLaren as he dives into the stadium section now. Up to the final corner. And which kind of line does he take? We've seen Katowice take the wide line. Scuba Steve took the tight one. Pagani stays wide but goes second on 15.4. Half a tenth behind Matman. Matman has found some excellent speed, and after a few races struggling, back at the pointy end of the grid. So you've played a fair bit of F1, I imagine, Jack. How do you rate the Mexican circuit? Is it one of your favourites? Is it one you dislike?
It's one of them tracks where it's like, it's quite difficult sometimes, especially through the S section, but sometimes if you just hook the lap nicely, you can just get really good time. So it's one of them tracks where you really have to nail it to get the time.
Yeah, very much. I'd say it's a very wide track as well. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities here. Obviously, they'll start finish straight. That run to turn 4 as well. Even last night, we saw a lot of guys using that third DRS zone coming into the stadium. Make some good moves. But yeah, this S section now to watch Pagani sort of cruising back into the pits. Very tricky challenge there. You need to keep the speed up, you need to use the curbs as well, but they can unsettle the car, and that rapid change of direction, as we saw with Daft Chip, can just unsettle the back. And although there's a lot of runoff, if you go off at the wrong place, you're in a wall. And you may see a number of invalidations as well in the course of the night. Bossman goes P7 in the Alfa Romeo, because he had a really good run last week at Baku, his best I've seen probably from him in FTRL in fact last week. Third on the road, ended up P5 after penalties was removed from Maxi Simon, but a really good run from him, and hopefully more of the same. Now, on debut in the commentary box, we've got a debut on track tonight. Zero Tau 86 is making his first start tonight. He's filling in for Nexus Cats.
I've got some information on the Mexico State Grand Prix.
Hit us with it.
So the number of times it's been held, 22, which is quite a lot actually. Of course, it was first held back in 1962. The most wins from drivers were Jim Clark and Max Verstappen, both tied with 3 wins each. Most wins coming from Lotus, which have 4. The circuit length is 4.3 kilometers or 2.6 miles. The race length, nowadays it's 305 kilometers or 189 miles, something along that, obviously. Last race, Bottas got pole, but got spun out in the race by Ricardo, was it?
I believe so, yes.
Of course, Verstappen won that race, Hamilton and Perez, which his dad was very happy about because it was his home Grand Prix.
It is indeed, yeah. The fans were very happy for their man to get onto the podium. Couldn't quite snatch that P2 away from Lewis, but it was a Excellent battle between those two in the latter stages of the race.
But yeah, it's just really. I think it's named after someone as well.
I believe so. I do not know the actual story behind it, but yes, I do. I think it does have somebody's name in the actual official full title.
Hermanos Rodriguez.
Yes, well, maybe we'll up a little bit later. Of course, in the before obviously Mexico returned to the calendar, the old layout of the circuit used to take us around the baseball stadium. So obviously now it goes through to create a sort of unique atmosphere. But previously, of course, it used to be a sort of parabolic-esque hairpin around the outside. And the most famous of that, most famous memory of that corner was Nigel Mansell sticking it to Gerhard Berger around the outside for, I believe it was P2 in his Ferrari days. And it was an absolute stunning overtake from Mansell. It may even be for the win, I can't remember, but it was definitely a great move. But probably shouldn't have been on. But Nigel Mansell was one of those drivers who made the unexpected happen. That was a brilliant move. Of course, the layout now obviously doesn't take it. Oh dear me, it's Dylan there running right to the track, and he managed to invalidate on the exit of the final corner. Would have been an improvement as well on his lap time. So a little bit annoyed there. But behind him, we have a new pole position sitter. Evil Chris has taken the pole position by 11 thousandths of a second from Matman. He's into the 15.3s, a 15.389. Drops Matman down to P2 on his 15.400. So very tight at the top with the two McLarens also in the 15.4s. And Zombie's retired, so I didn't see if he's crashed out. But the Ferrari man currently sitting P5 is not going to be able to set another lap time, so he is at risk.
Just watching Captain at the moment. He's coming through the final corner now. He's at a purple first sector, but I'm not. Oh, it's pole 49.
There we go. Then so the first one into the 14s. Captain Chubbs, who has been downplaying his chances tonight, has popped himself onto provisional pole. So the McLaren man, he's not fancying himself around here. He's fairly confident he's going to win in a wall, so we shall see how he gets on in the race. If he does go into a wall, he's going to do it in front of everybody. At the moment, then Scuba Steve now pops himself P5. He's gone out on the soft tyres now. What about Oscar? He is on his way down to turn 1. So let's go on board then. Of course, Oscar crashed out last week in Baku. Of course, Oscar was denied victory in the opening week by our current or provisional pole sitter. Cruising to victory at Silverstone. A last lap clash, a move that maybe didn't need to be made. He wanted to win it on track. Those are coming together and it ended up dropping into P5, so he'll be looking to make amends. And there's his lap going into sector 2. A little bit deep there into the first part of the S's. And he's invalidated through the S's then, so yeah, that's going to be a running theme tonight. A lot of people like to invalidate in that sector of the lap. There was a prime example of it.
Of course, me and Oscar being in the same team. I reckon he could get high up there, maybe top 5 at least.
Oh, very easily. Yeah, he is come on leaps and bounds since he has joined us. And he's a very quick boy these days, just not able to string it together for that win. Of course, he should have really had a win in the opening week. But denied by that spin, missed week 2. How is he going to fare this time out? So on track at the minute. Academy's back out on track, in fact, so we'll pick up the Alfa Romeo man. And he is 0.8 of a second up in sector 2, so looking a little bit more comfortable this time. This should see him vault up the order. Coming on a 16.4. 0.8 for jumping to the 15.6s, so around about P6. Can he find any time in the final sector? Stays tight. And goes second. And a lot of time in the final sector. Then Sakatami's into a 15.2. But Chubbs then still holding a 0.3 of a second lead at the top. He's looking very, very solid. 3 drivers yet to set lap times. 2 of them are on their way. Brutus has validated his lap though. His teammate Callum is on his way down to turn 1. And Fever is just coming into the stadium to start a flying run. So on board Callum. Let's see how he gets on. He's been quietly going about his business. Of course, friends with Dylan, aka CP121. tidy through 4 and 5. Fixes nicely at 6 and 7. Now he goes into the S's section. Can he get through here without invalidating? Let's see if he gets on there. Bit of curve on the in. First part. Oh, that looked a bit of a twitch there. Scuba Steve has retired from the session now. Where is he? He's in the pit lane, so he decided he's not going to improve on his P6. Of course, winner quite comfortably last time out at Baku. Shaping up to be a good race between him and Maxi Sign, but Scuba Steve just left everybody in his wake last week. Really hooked up around Baku. Coming out of Callum, who's just gone P12 in the AlphaTauri. Slots in between.
I'm on board with Feber. As Brutus is retired in the S's section, that's really unfortunate.
Oh dear, so Brutus Bierman is out of the session. Winner of round 2 at Portimao. Which means he's going to have a lot of work to do. He will have a free tyre choice, of course.
Yeah. Bieber coming, or Bieber, I don't know.
Yes, Fever Bieber, or Fever Bieber, we'll call him. Might be Fever Bieber, I'm not quite sure. But he goes P14, 16.8 from the Alpine man. What about Oscar, who's on another run against Chubbs, in fact. Chubbs, I think, is slightly ahead of him. Where is Pagani? He's behind, so yeah, we've got board with Chubbs, who is on a flying lap, and is, of course, our current provisional pole sitter. So into the S's he comes.
Someone just jumped up there.
Might be Bossman. Yeah, Bossman's just crossed the line, so Bossman at P6. So again, another good run for Bossman. As Chubbs goes purple in sector 2. Is he on here to improve on his current provisional pole lap? Move that bar even further away. Around the final corner. So yeah, staying tight to the pit wall. Crosses the line. And he does indeed improves by 1.168 of a second. He's now at a 14.7.
Watch out for Oscar, here comes across the line, second, 10th off.
So he did need that improvement then. Oscar then popped himself onto the front row. It will be likely his final run. A lot of people on final runs. Pagani then just starting his final flying lap, so let's go on board with the reigning champ. Man heading down towards turn 1. Currently P6. Will be a solid starting place for him. Can he make any improvements? I think he's half a tenth of a second to jump Matman. And you've got Evil Chris just 11 thousandths further ahead, so Academy's only a tenth above that as well. So, but 10th down in sector 1 though. 4 and 5 nicely. 6 and 7. Now this is where the time's probably going to be made a little bit of a wobble there on the curb as he gets up, power down into the S as he comes. Chubbs has from the session, so he set his marker. Oh, Pagani has gone straight onto the S's, and has crashed hard into the wall. So Pagani's out of the session.
So is Matman. He's crashed at the S's as well.
So yeah, Matman and Pagani both going off in the S's. Here comes Evil Chris. How's he getting on through there? He gets through there okay. No, he's invalidated his lap then, so he won't improve on his P4. Bossman has finished his run. About Aaron Trucker, currently P9.
Something Ivan mentioned. Me and Bossman raced in a league together before. I can't remember what league, but we have raced together in a league before, so.
Yes, I say he joined FTRL a couple of seasons ago. He's friends, of course, with Max Deff, who unfortunately is no longer racing with us. I don't know if he's appeared in the chat. No, not yet. Oh, golfing around the world at the minute, Max Deff. But Bossman is stuck with us. And he's really in good form at the minute then. Aaron Trucker out of the final corner then. A Red Bull man. Where's his lap going to put him? Currently P10. And I think he stayed P10.
There was a timing delay for me, but I think that was because my PlayStation kept screwing around.
Maybe. Well, there we have it then. Despite his protestations, it is Captain Chubbs who will line up on pole position alongside Oscar, with Katamise on P3 and Eva Chris P4. Matman and Pagani, great job from Matman there, P5. And they're P6 with Bossman and Scuba Steve on the 4th row, and Aaron Trucker and Casey Bernard are rounding out the grid. for the top 10 anyway, and they will of course start on the soft tyres in which they've qualified. Free tyre choice then to the remainder of the grid, starting with Zombie in P11, Alex Pixie is P12, Callum is 13th, Fever 14th, Zero Tau is 15th, Dylan is 16th, and then no time set for Daft Chip and Brutus Beer. So a lot of work for the Williams and the Alpha Tauri man to do. That man in the chat there saying he's finally found some pace again. He has indeed. Great to see that man. And that is a very wet track.
I've not loaded in, so...
Well,
I think Oscar's jinxed it again.
I did see somebody in the chat earlier asking for some rain. Well, they've got it. It is pouring down. We're here at Mexico for the race, so dry qualifying. Well, that might explain some of the setups. Maybe the slightly mix up of the grid. But yeah, so then dry qualifying leaves us with a very wet race. Now, there was a threat of rain last night. It got very overcast and grey during the race, but the rain never came. It brightened up again, so it was just teasing us last night. It is, however, here in abundance tonight for Div 2. Now, there was a few seasons ago where it felt like every week we got a wet race. It was a weird thing going on for about three or 4 seasons ago. We probably had more wet races that season than we did dry ones. It was a funny run. It was a bit of a running joke. But yeah, first. No, we had a little bit of rain, or threat of rain rather, at Portimao. But it never really arrived heavily enough. A few people gambled, but those who stayed out on slicks ended up victorious.
So starting on the enter as everyone is anyway.
Yeah, indeed. Then, so do you want to run us around the grid?
Yep. Chubb's starting out on pole, really good luck from him. Oscar in second, come on Oscar. Catamy's in third, Chris in fourth, both really good laps from him, rounding out the second part of the grid. Matman and Pagani in the third row of the grid, starting fifth and second, respectively. Seventh and eighth is Scuba Steve and Bossman. Yep. Corsa starting out in the fourth row of the grid. Ninth and 10th is Aaron Trucker and Casey Bernard in the fifth row of the grid. Zombie and Alex Pixie in 11th and 12th on the sixth row of the grid. Callum and Feber in the seventh row of the grid, starting 13th and 14th. Zero Tau and CP, or what did you call him? Dylan?
Dylan, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know where his username comes from, to be honest.
Yeah. And rounded out the bottom of the grid is Daft Chip and Brutus Beer on the ninth row of the grid.
There we have it then, so 18 runners, and from the graphic of the predicted tyre strategies, it looks like it's going to be an entirely wet race. Oh, Brutus has left. Oh, Daft Chip has spun and hit the wall. What is going on? What is Daft Chip doing? I don't know if you can get damage. I don't know if you can get damage on the Owl. I think he's just getting plenty of hit. No, so he's thrashing his tyres around. Let's try and get some heat into them.
Trying to get some clips.
Oh, and who's that spun? That is
Callum.
Callum has spun then in the stadium section, so it's all going off on the first on the sighting lap.
What is... Okay.
Hopefully Brutus will get back into his car. There he is. Wait then. Yeah, Callum making his way to the grid. And recovered from his little drama. Lining up P13.
Celebrating early.
Indeed. For some reason I've got the most terrible shot. There we go. So, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Revs are up. And away we go. It's a good start from the second row. Looks like Catamy's had a good launch. Front two about equal away. Catamy's splitting. Oh, somebody's spinning in the pack. Who was that? Goals crashed further back. 2 in the wall.
Oh, it's Bossman. Bossman and Zero, I think.
They go through 2 on virtual safety car deployed. That nullifies the field, and Chubbs has held onto the lead. from Oscar, from Evil Chris, who's got ahead of Casami's through turns 1 and 2. Pagai's up to 5th. Ahead of Matman, Scuba Steve up 1. Yeah, Bossman, Zero Tower.
What a launch from him. Up 8 positions.
He's got through that very nicely, then survived the chaos, and he's up into the top 10 already. So he just got back in his car in time as well. Over now, Dylan's hit Zombie. Zombie's down a couple of places as well. So drama on the straight then, so a few people just spinning their tyres up as they try to get away. On the wall, and looks like Zero Tower, and how much damage has he got, if any, can we see? His wing looks okay. What about Bossman? Did he get any? Oh, Bossman's got no front wing at all, so Bossman was the big loser in that one. What about Dylan? Yeah, Dylan looks like he's missing his front wing as well, so those two come together. Zombie looks okay, but it looks like Casey's missing part of his wing. He's missing a left end plate, so yeah, Casey's had some damage on the opening lap. Fever up the road, he is okay, so yeah, that looks like everybody else got through all that okay. Big movers then, Brutus Bit up 8, Daft Chip up 6. Picks up 3 of the big movers as we are racing again. Chip was on his toes, but Oscar's gone with him. And here comes the slipstream, but of course there's going to be no DRS to worry about tonight. It being wet weather. Chubbs and Oscar going into one side by side. Chubbs holds him off. Oh, Oscar bumps the back of him. Chubbs slightly compromised his line. Defending. Evil Chris is buying into this now as well. Oh, Bossman's sped in the pit lane now as well, just to compound his misery. And Evil Chris has got an absolute stunning launch out of 3 and drives past Oscar on traction into P2. So we've got a massive train of cars here. How big is this? Brutus losing a position to Daft Chip. The Daft Chip on the move. They're now both up 7. And everybody down to Daft Chip, currently within a second range, but of course no DRS. It doesn't really matter to him. Mr. Fever's probably the big gap back in P12. He's 3 seconds behind Brutus, so we've got 1st to 11th in a train. At the moment, Chubb's trying to pull the pin. Evil Chris is on the move. Of course, in his only other start this season, he was battling hard with Sandal at Portimao, Evil Chris. And unfortunately span out, which brought out the safety car, which ultimately handed the victory to Brutus because it completely evaporated Barcelona's lead. Sets the fastest lap, first flying lap of the race, first full flying lap of the race. That Chip meanwhile behind him goes faster still, 28.8. From him, he's into the top 10. Further back, Scuba Steve on Matman, side by side. Matman's on the inside, Scuba Steve on the outside. Zombie now with the fastest lap of the race. Oh, Scuba Steve and Matman come together. Matman's gone around, half around. He's kept it going in the right direction-ish. Oh, that's such a shame for Matman. Loses a couple of places to Brutus, Daft Chip and Alex Pixie. And Aaron Truckery, so about 4 places lost. He'll be seething after that one.
A little bit of a gap forming between Chubbs and Evil Chris. Of course, this is what Chubbs needs just to maybe try and get out of a slipstream train kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. So, no DRS to worry about, so it doesn't matter about the second gap this tonight. It's now going to be about managing ERS and more importantly managing penalties. I don't know if the wet weather is going to make it easier to stay within track limits. You're going to be pushing quite so hard. We want to be staying away from those curbs. Speaking of penalties, there's the first one for track limits is Bossman. He's pushing hard, trying to catch back up. We've got 5 drivers who've had some strife. Zero Tau, Casey Bernard, Callum, Bossman and Dylan have all been in the pits. Like Zero Tau hasn't pitted, he's just I think he's just had a drama somewhere. Group now just fanning out slightly. Trucker's got Alex Pixie, so the brothers 7th and 8th, and their friend Daft Chip behind them, so those 3 running the line astern in 7th, 8th and 9th. Brutus behind them, you've got top 10 now breaking away. Pagani now with a warning of the penalty as well, so that's... Oh, into the wall hard goes Alex Pixie. Did he drop it off the curb? There's a bit of wing gone flying. Through goes Fever, through goes Zombie. That looked like just...
that when I was on board with, I think I was on board with Pagani at that time, and I
saw it in the background, yeah. Hit the wall, yeah, right end plate's gone from the Aston Martin, so both Aston Martins have had some drama in the opening 4 laps.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, so he had a good upturn. I expected some good results in the last season. As did Aaron, and he's had a good start to this season as well. Finished 4th in the opening race at Silverstone. Alex was actually 2nd on track in the end, or 3rd on track behind his teammate. Of course, dropped back with penalties. Ended up P4. Strong one from him there, but tonight then is the top 5 just making a little bit of a break now. There's a 1.6 second gap between Pagani and Scuba Steve. And now Eva Chris, in fact the top 2 really breaking away now. There's 2 seconds between Eva Chris and Oscar. So last night
to say that I think Captain has more a straight line speed setup rather than corners, because I think Chris is just catching it up through some of the corners, like some of the sectors really, like S's and such. I think he's really quite closing up to him.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on that gap. So we got to 1.3 at the end of the straight there, so Chubbs was pulling away down the straight, and like you say, the gap, race leader picks up a penalty on lap 5. The gap has come down a couple of turns. It's kind of holding firm, so it keeps yo-yoing up and forward. Yellow flag sector 1. Who is that?
I think it's Brutus is spun.
Oh no, Brutus then, so drops down.
No damage though.
Alex picks into the pits. Out the pits, and he's on his way again down in P17. Scuba Steve now with a penalty. So we saw this last night, just one driver last night finished without penalties to his name. Already you've got 7 drivers of the 18 with a penalty against their name. Chubbs now just opening that gap up 1.4 seconds now, so he's actually had a good run there through the slower stuff. And he's now pulling away down the straight as well, so but he is used considerably more of his ERS. He's down at just 18%. Eva Chris behind him on 50. Back, what's going on? Oscar's got a bit of a gap back to Katamis. Pagani in close attendance. Then we've got Scuba Steve and Aaron Trucker, who are fairly close together. Daft Chip keeping a watching brief, and then the recovering Matman back into the top 10 in 9th. Brutus after that spin down in 10th, and we've got Fever and Zombie running 11th and 12th. Then we've got the big gap back to those who Zombie picks up a penalty and he's had some trouble. Zero Tout 13th, got Casey Bernard recovering after his opening lap spin, now in 14th. Callum into the final corner, down to 15th. Bossman and Alex Pixie are together on track at the final corner. And Alex has got a really good run at the final corner. Bossman's going defensive to the inside. It's all going to be done with slipstream and ERS here then. Wheel to wheel. Seem fairly evenly matched though. Bossman has the inside, and he will stay ahead into turn 1, so good defence there from him. Dylan just behind them. Chubbs then coming around to complete lap 6. Lead 1.4. Eva Chris now sets the fastest lap of the race in, so he is close. Oh, Oscar's gone! Oscar's gone at the final corner. Yeah, well, the start finish straight, and safety car has been deployed. Well, that's good news for KC0, Callum, Bossman, Alex and Dylan. The safety car is out. Oscar has lost it out of the final corner on traction by the look of it. And he's in the pit wall, and that is his race over. Oh, he's going to be absolutely kicking himself.
Yeah.
It's tricky conditions. We've seen a couple of people lose out. We saw, of course, the spin off the start line. And a couple of drivers caught up in that. We saw Alex Pix drop it out of turn 3. So these conditions, despite being intermediate, so it's not the heaviest rain, but enough to catch some of the drivers out. That is bad news for Chubbs. Oh, Eva Chris almost drops it on the safety car conditions coming out of turn 7 there. Got it very crossed up. But he survives to live another day. And they will come round to form up under the safety car then. So, first retirement of the evening. Lap 7 and the first safety car has been deployed.
Just gonna say before Oscar unfortunately crashed out that Daft Chip was right on the back of Aaron Tucker coming through the stadium section, and I think it was gonna make a pass on him going down the straight.
Yeah, well, he'll have to wait now until after the safety car, which is waiting at the exit turn 3. Car's making their way down. He's into the pits then, so is this a scheduled stop? Is he going off strategy? Looks like an early pit stop if he's going to get to the end on one set of tyres. No change to the wing, so yeah, just tyres. And he's on his way. He's going to drop him down to probably P10. There's a gap there between Zombie and Brutus that he'll drop into. Ooh, what was that? There's Scuba Steve getting very crossed up on exit 3 as they come up on the safety cars, so don't be dropping it under the safety car, boys.
Yeah.
So then, on lap 8, the running order then as follows. It's Captain Chubbs leading the race, but does have a penalty to his name. Evil Chris is P2. No penalties for the Alpine man. Pagani currently P3. He also has a penalty though. That's to Scuba Steve in 4th. Aaron Trucker 5th. Daft Chip, who was on the back row of the grid, finds himself in P6. Matman back up to P7 after his spin. Fever has just quietly made his way up into P8. Zombie now runs P9. Casamese, who's just pitted, now running P10. Brutus, who also pitted after that spin, now running P11. KC, who had drums on the opening lap, and I'll catch back up to the field, runs P12. Zero Tau in 13th. Callum running in 14th, and Bossman and Alex Pixie 15th and 16th. The battle nullified for the moment, and Dylan in P17.
Oh, is that Pagani in the wall?
The third place runner.
No damage though, luckily.
Looks like he's got away with it, but yeah, missed that one. But just emphasising again how tricky these conditions are. Into the pits comes your race leader. Chubbs is in. So was it Chubbs that hit the wall?
No,
there is a wing. There is a wing. He's changed. Yeah, he has got wing damage, so it might have been Chubbs.
Oh wow, I thought it was Pagani.
So yeah, missing his right front end plate. And there you go. So the race leader in the wall under the safety car. Now he's going to filter back in P11, so he'll be behind Brutus and Casamese, depending on where KC gets up to. KC might actually clear him here. Where is he going to come out? Chubbs is just ahead. So KC didn't quite overhaul Chubbs. Chubbs back on his way then, but that is a mistake. Now the question is, can he now get to the end on those tyres? Or he need to pit again?
I have a question for you, mate.
Okay, ask away.
Do you play this game much?
I have started playing it. Obviously, with the situation with the number of drivers we had, there wasn't really availability. Well, there wasn't space, and there also wasn't commentary. So I decided to do both divisions last season. I didn't really play the game in terms of racing much, partly because I've been transferring over to racing on wheel as well. So I've forever been a pad user since PS1 days. But bought myself a G29 a couple of years ago. Finally started using it in earnest this year. Mainly started on the Assetto Corsa, moved over to GT, and I've also started on F1 and getting there with it. So I've started playing it a bit more now. A few of us, old FTRL admin crew, have been doing a sort of fun performance championship, sort of in our spare time. Been a bit of racing, so it's coming along, but just need to get into a groove with it. So, but this year's game is definitely a lot different to the last few years in terms of the handling. The car's a lot more skittish, I've noticed. I don't know about you, because I think you play quite a bit as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've been league racing since 2017, and of course, because me and my couple of friends in another league, we decided to try out F1 2017 for a change, right?
Yeah.
And I used the exact same assist as I do for this game, ABS off, traction control, and it felt really felt a lot different. Of course, the the car didn't feel as skittish on 2017, but yeah, there's definitely, compared to last year's game and this year's game, there's a big handling difference.
Which I think I've seen. I think you notice a lot of that in setups, don't you? Because you have to run a lot more wing on this year's game just to get the car stable. I was doing, I think, before Silverstone, which was obviously the opening round of our season. Just did a few laps around there, and the amount of times I just spun going into Abbey when I wasn't really putting that much input into the steering, but the back end just kept coming around on me, and it took me a couple of setups just to kind of iron that out, and obviously just being very gentle with the steering inputs to get through Abbey. Very different to the last couple of games. Of course, has caused uproar in the community, as any changes to this game do.
Does it look like it stopped raining?
It does. Let's go board with the race leader. Don't see any rain falling. Safety car has just been called in, so are we going to see a drying track? Yeah, I'd say there's no rain falling. So safety car pulling away. Evil Chris will now lead the field.
Doesn't really look like there's much spray coming off either.
Those cars look low speed at the minute. Let's see how it is when they get up to speed. Away we go, and Chris has pulled the trigger. Pagani, though, not being caught napping. He's gone with him. In fact, Pagani's had a really good launch at the final corner, and he is right at the back of Evil Chris. Oh, Chris has a big twitch at the final corner, and Pagani goes for the lead. Great restart from Pagani. Evil Chris dives back to the slipstream. He'll have a run now all the way down to turn 1. Is he going for the inside? He does. And they're going to come back at him. Scuba Steve in the background waving to warm his tyres up. Evil Chris down the inside into 1. Pagani goes with him. He's got the inside for 2. Over the curb, still side by side. Evil Chris now gets a penalty off the curb, still side by side. Pagani on the ERS trying to get the advantage. I've got a terrible camera, I can't even see anything. There we go. Pagani's now got the inside for 4, still side by side. For the lead. Through 5, still side by side. Evil Chris now gets the move done.
Wow, what amazing racing between
brilliant racing action there from those two.
We were commentating on them too. Daft Chip just made a move on Aaron Trucker.
Indeed. So Daft Chip then from 17th on the grid, running P4. So Chris just snatches the lead. Oh, Pagani's got second penalty. So Chris got one in the middle of that battle through turn 3. And Pagani gives him one back. As they come through the S's there, just slipping a little bit wide. Pagani. We've got Scuba Steve closing in, so he's punched the field right back up again. There's a big battle going on over P16. Dylan and Zero Tau, and Dylan getting the move done. Good move there from Dylan. Good to see him having a battle. Yeah, Dylan is the eternal optimist. Said he was going to win this week. He is one of our newer drivers, and still finding his feet, but he is plugging away. He's up now to P16, down into turn 1. All as you at the front, further back though. Brutus on Zombie. Zombie hanging on around the outside. We go wheel to wheel. Brutus then makes the inside for turn 3. Gets the move done. Crosses over. Chubb's trying to buy into this as well on the exit. Brutus up to 9th. Zombie and Chubb's now wheel to wheel. Chubb's almost got squeezed out onto the grass there. He's now on the outside for 4. That'll give him the inside for 5. Holds it tight. Zombie stays on the track as well. Good wheel to action. Zombie holds the position but then slips wide at 6. Chubb's up the inside again. Oh, they might lock tyres here. It's spread apart and Zombie holds the position. Great wheel to wheel action again.
Yeah, these guys are really impressing me tonight. They want to be on their best behaviour.
Yeah, indeed, I guess. Yeah. I sort of hyped it up. We've seen Pixie there getting a penalty now. I have seen some.
Oh, and he spun.
Oh.
He's lost an end plate.
Oh no. So Alex Pixie spinning through the S's. Back down to P17, unfortunately. Flag 62. Who is that? Might just have been, yeah, just been recovering. So we regained the lead then. Evil Chris has now pulled a 1.4 second gap. So he's got the hammer down. He now is looking in his mirrors at that Mercedes. He's very bravely using the curbs and the green painted area. So it makes it work. Further back, Brutus getting the move done on Fever into 1. Up to 8th place, and Chubb's making the move on Zombie, but no, the Zombie comes back at him again. The wheel to wheel through 2, wheel to wheel through 3. Bumping each other gently. These two still wheel to wheel. Chubbs is ahead on the outside. Zombie's got the inside for 4. Chubbs around the outside.
Oscar's broke his headset. I think he's broke it through rage, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's quite likely.
Oh, Scuba Steve's up to 2nd.
Ooh, he has indeed. He's got the move done. Further back, meanwhile, Alex Pixie has put on the medium tyre.
I think Pagani's made a mistake somewhere.
Gappers, maybe. I mean, Scuba Steve was right behind him, so it might have just been a move into 4th. They've not lost too much time to Evil Chris. So that might just been Scuba Steve sticking a move. So let's see what last week's race winner can do. He's made his way up to 2nd.
Just realised Pixie's gone really optimistic, and he's.
I just spotted that. It's a brave call. It could work out, and he could propel him back up the order. Alternatively, he could be struggling for grip for a couple of laps. That looks a little bit early. Yeah, he's struggling at the minute. I think it's a bold call, and I think it's a little bit too early for slick tyres. Evil Chris leading now by 2 seconds. Scuba Steve in 2nd. Pagani first. Scuba Steve out over the curb, and he's had a bit of a wobble there, and Pagani's back on him. And to go defensive. Going down the inside into 4, it's a big move. Scuba Steve isn't coming around the outside, keeps the position. Daft Chip now trying to buy into this as well. And we've got Aaron Trucker and Matman back up to P6 for that earlier contact with Scuba Steve. Katamis in P7, 1.7 seconds back, not quite able to hang with the guys at the front at the minute. So he's got his former constructors winning teammate. Oh yeah, Katamis having a bit of a twitch in the S's. Just closing in behind him. They've got 2.4 over Chubbs, and so Chubbs not quite able to hang the pace. In a minute, Zombie now with a penalty. Meanwhile, the lead is now up to 3 seconds, so Evil Chris getting the hammer down. So Dylan picks up a penalty. And Alex Pixie has lost about 8 seconds on this lap, so yeah, I think it is too early for those slick tyres. Pagani on Scuba Steve as Chubbs looks like he's struggling. He's just at the fastest lap of the race. Here goes Pagani for P2 into turn 1. He's got the inside, going to give him the squeeze out onto the curbs, and that is moved done nicely. Takes the line, takes the position, and that's P2 gained. Zombie pitting from P15. Now, what's he going to go for tyre wise? Has he got some damage, or is he going to be brave as well? Stay on the inters, so too early to switch to slicks, and Alex Pixie's lost about 20 seconds. So yeah, he was a brave call. It's not going to work out for him, I fear. It is working out, however, for Evil Chris. He's leading now nearly 4 seconds. This pack behind him, trading blows. Pagani, Scuba Steve, Daft Chip, Aaron Trucker, Matman's there as well. Katamis is caught back up, as is Brutus Beer. Chubbs having just set the fastest lap, closing in as well. Katamis with a penalty. And Chubbs. Chubbs is pushing.
Yeah, I've raced with Evil Chris in a couple open lobbies before, and yeah, he is quite rapid, so
he's a very good player.
Not really surprised.
Pagani drifting out the final corner. I wonder, having just watched the line he's taken there, if Oscar got out on that curb on the outside of the final corner, and that's what spat him into the wall. Chubbs with the fastest lap of the race again.
I've never really watched these guys race, apart from Bossman. I think I've heard of.
Oh, Scuba Steve almost at the back of Pagani into 1. Misses braking point, almost went into the back, goes straight across the grass. Through goes Daft Chip. Penalty for corner cutting there, had to take to the grass, but that was so close. And a safety car deployed. Now, what was that for? What's the safety car being missed? What the safety car's been called for? Possibly Zombie, who's further back. He's going to the pit. Yeah, Zombie's missing his front wing, so it might have been for whatever accident Zombie's had. Safety car deployed, and that eradicates Evil Chris's 4-second lead. So he'll be fuming. However, we might be in the window to make a pit stop to get to the end. We're on lap 16 and 36, so nearly at half race distance. You feel if this race is going to stay wet, then now might be the time to pit. Now the field are quite spread out in terms of the teammates, so I don't think anybody's that close to their teammate that they would hold each other up. Zombie going onto the medium tyres, interestingly. It still looks too wet. It still looks wet. We saw this a couple of weeks ago with Portimao. Race leader was in. Now what's he going to do? That's maybe the big question. Yeah, Alex Pixie going around. So let's stay on board with the race leader as he comes down the pit lane. What tyres are going on the Alpine? The answer is more intermediates. So yeah, they're all going to take the opportunity. So who's gone through? Aaron Trucker's gone through, Mattman's gone through, Katamis has gone through, Brutus and Chubbs have all gone through. Boss Scuba Steve going onto the slick tyre. He's going onto the soft. Pagani's gone to the mediums, so there's a couple of guys in here braving it out. It's gone poorly for Chris. Have a look at the condition. Again, not raining, but that track's, there's no dry line. Well, there's a hint of one, but nothing more than that at the minute. So we shall see how the track evolves. But yeah, it's clearing up. The sky looks brighter. There's no rain falling. Not a lot of spray being kicked up anymore, so we're maybe not too far away from slick conditions, but I don't think it's yet. I suppose it depends how long this safety car is out for, and that might explain why a number of the drivers have stayed out. But just oh, Scuba Steve has gone. Scuba Steve has crashed, trying to catch the safety car. Where is he? Dropped it there. Oh, he's on the exit of turn 3. He's hit the wall. So that's the same place we saw Alex Pixie spin off earlier in the race, and having gone onto the slick tyre, he's put it into the wall. Zombie in the pits again.
Really quite unfortunate.
What's Zombie going on to?
He's retired.
Oh, he has indeed. So yeah, Zombie's called it a night, unfortunately. Alex Pixie still just tiptoeing around. So that leaves Pagani in P9 as the highest placed runner on the slick tyre. This could be an absolute masterstroke, or it could be a terrible, terrible decision. He gambled on strategy at Portimao by staying out as long as he dare on a set of medium tyres, because he knew the rain was coming. It never really rained hard enough though, and in the end he had to pit. He did go onto the intermediates, but only salvaged a P7. So Dylan into the pits, serving a penalty first. And he's now going on to a fresh set of inters. So again, another one not gambling yet. Well, contrasting strategies and opinions of what to do in these conditions. Some are making the gamble, like Callum and Alex have nothing to lose really, so I can understand why they are, but I mean, Alex is struggling to catch up to the safety car still. He is still 2/3 of a lap behind. So what do you do? He had nothing to lose. Now Callum's gone back into the pits and has come back out on the intermediate, so he's changed his mind over his gamble. Pagani and Alex now just the two drivers left on slicks.
For how Scuba Steve crashed, I'll tell you the second he said it in Discord. I'll tell you in a second. So he almost obliterated
yeah, I think that was
Pagani's back end.
yeah, I think that was from the incident into turn 1.
Yeah, he missed his braking point and had soft. Well, obviously he had soft on, but he missed his braking point, I think, and yeah.
Well, I think he said I think that was he said he missed his brake point like he had softs on, but that was obviously before the safety car came out. But not quite sure what happened in terms of the actual accident, because that was on the exit of 3, so he's probably got on the curb. I wonder. Maybe just not got enough heat into the tyres yet. But there is a hint. Oh, Pagani's pitting again. Pagani's pitted again. What is he going on to? Is he going back onto the inters? He is, yet. Pagani's decided to change his mind as well. He's going to drop him all the way down to P14. And in fact, into the pits has come Zero Tau. So he pits as well. Getting a fresh set of inters on the air, so it looks like it's not dry enough for slick tyres yet. The gamble has not paid off. The man who was running second stroke third is now out of contention. Well, he's got a lot, I say out of contention, he's got a lot of work to do. Alex Pixie now starting to make a bit of time up on the safety car, but he's still nowhere near the queue.
But what
assisting.
do you do if you've not pit yet, like Aaron Trucker and Mattman?
That's a good question. I mean, they've left it too late. I mean, it does suggest that it is going to come back, doesn't it? It does suggest that it is going to dry up, but just not yet. Now, obviously, because it's a wet race, they don't need to use different compounds of tyres. If those tyres could go to the end, they could use them. But I don't think they will get to the end, like they did on previous games. So, yeah, it would suggest they're waiting for the dry weather to come. Safety car in this lap then, so we are into the second half of the race. And Aaron Trucker heads the field. Alex Pixie making his way down to turn 4. Zero Tau should just catch the back of the queue before we go racing again. In fact, he has. So Alex Pixie's gamble I don't think has paid off, unfortunately. Now, when does Aaron pull the trigger? So it is now. Away he goes. Or does he?
No, he's gone now.
Now he's gone. Now he's gone. Here, Mattman's got a good jump. Catamese is under pressure from Brutus. That's a fairly good read start line from Aaron. Not under pressure as they break for turn 1. Everybody, who's that making a move further back? It's Dylan, Callum and Pagani. Ooh. Sparks off the curb. Coming a little bit wide. Pagani's got to run out of 3. They go wheel to wheel, and Pagani up to P12. He's starting to pick his way through. It's going to work of the AlphaTauri. What's going on? Evil Chris and Bossman. Now, Evil Chris is boxed in here behind Casey Bernard. As Bossman comes back up the inside, banging wheels. Daft Chip trying to buy into this now. All the 3 wide. Oh, they've got the inside of Bossman. And Bossman. And through goes Evil Chris, through goes Daft Chip.
Nice move. Trying to, well, capitalising on Bossman's mistake. Bossman and Evil Chris went side by side through 4 and 5. Evil Chris had the run, but then got boxed in behind Casey Bernard. So Bossman sent it back up the inside, but I think maybe had a little bit of a slide as he got on the power. Let Daft Chip up the inside. Evil Chris carried on around the outside. And it was a bit Hakkinen and Schumacher around Zonta at Spa in 2000-esque. Everybody lives to tell the tale. And Aaron Trucker continues to lead. Bruce Beer might be trying to make a move on Catmies here, but Chris making a move on Casey Bernard. Down straight.
Side
Casey
by
Bernard
side.
around the outside though.
Is Casey going to try and hang on around the outside? Nope, Evil Chris gets the move done. And our erstwhile race leader back up to P6 then. Daft Chip now getting the move done as well. Yeah, he's a good kick off of turn 3. Williams man up to P7. So keeping the pressure on Chris.
Really quick on them fresh enters.
Yep. So Casey Bernard, sorry, I think Casey Bernard's been on his tyre since lap 2. So Daft Chips are 3 laps old, most of that running behind the safety car. So it's 5 for the lead at the moment. Evil Chris now trying to make it 6. Daft Chip trying to make it 7. And the pressure is now on for the lead. Mattman all over the back of Aaron Trucker into the stadium section. It's a good return to form for Mattman. He's not had the best run in the opening start, the opening part of this season. He's now right on the back of the race leader. Looks again like they're waiting for the dry conditions. It's still wet though. Trucker now having to go defensive. To weave down the straight, trying to break the toe.
It was really quite weird though, because it's wet, right, but there's no spray coming off at all.
Yeah, so it would suggest that there's not far away. In dry conditions, Pagani getting the move done on Fever into one. Brutus now with a penalty. That leaves the top two, KC, Fever and Zero Tower without penalties at the moment. Pagani then back into the top 10. And move on Fever. It's been on a little bit of a gap now between the top 7 on nose to tail at the minute, and KC's trying to get there, but he's 2 seconds off the back at the moment. With that train up the road ahead of him, very easy, very quickly make this a big train again. The two at the front on the two on the front on the tyres they started the race. You've got Cassidy and Brutus and Captain Chubbs who pitted under that first safety car. They've all sort of got medium wear, and then you've got Evil Chris and Daft Chip who are on fresh enters, and they can probably get to the end. Depending on, of course, what the weather does. Man, right on the back of Aaron Trucker. It's looking very dry now, and yeah, Aaron Trucker is in. Right, let's stay on board, let's see what he does. There we go. In the pits then comes the race leader. What is he going on to? That looked like a set of slicks. He's gone on the mediums, so is the time coming? Is now the time to swap? Well, we're about to find out. Race leader is in onto slick tyres. It's looking drier.
It is as Bossman's making a move on Pagani.
I think Bossman was ahead of Pagani, wasn't he? Are they just battling? Because they're coming back at him. And so we're down to a 6-car train for the lead. Bossman, what's going on here? Bossman coming back at him. Pagani. Oh dear, DRS at the night, it's dry. Pagani up the inside, Bossman and Pagani still go wheel to wheel. They did it last week as well. Pagani gets the move done this time, so it looks like now this could be an inspired move from Aaron Trucker then. DRS has been enabled. Oh, Matman with a penalty. He's one of the few drivers who didn't have one. Further back, Cassidy to Brutus going wheel to wheel. Cassidy squeezing Brutus on the exit, the SS section there. Oh, we're going to see a flood of pit stops here.
Yeah, I think so.
DRS has been active, and Darren Trucker's going to be taking chunks of time. As Zero Town now picks up a penalty. That leaves just 3 drivers. McMahon is in. Yep, race leader is in. Cassidy is in. Yeah, here they come. They're all piling into the pits. Oh, mind the wings. Oh, Daft Chip into the back of Evil Chris, who then hits the back of Chubbs. Daft Chip got wing damage in that, I think. Pagani's gone through. Obviously, with his teammate in the pits, he'd have been held up.
Meanwhile, a TTG member has just joined FTRL. Div 1, I think.
TTG noisy. Interesting. Right, and we'll speak to him afterwards. Thank you for joining our community then. So whereas Aaron Trucker, he goes through. Matman feeds out behind him, so he's not lost out too much. But Aaron Trucker's regained the lead. Katami's now on the attack of Matman already. Katami's is going for it straight away into turn 1. The wheel to wheel. Bumping wheels. Matman hangs on around the outside. Gets the move. Oh, Brutus sliding into 2. Still a little bit damp. But Katami's is wasting no time. This is the Katami's we all know. Hyper aggressive from the get-go. He's down the inside again. Oh, he's left. He's going left and right. Round the right hand. Oh, Pagani with a penalty. Race leader on those intermediates through the S section there. They're probably getting a little bit hot now. Track has dried. He gambled a little bit earlier. Oh, Aaron, big slide. Catches it just. But he's lost all that advantage he had over Matman. That track is still a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
So Pagani will be in this time yet. Pagani pits. A lap too late, you feel. Oh, I'm a little bit deep. Well, this one is wide open at the minute, but Aaron with no penalties is in a very strong position. However, with DRS now enabled, he's going to be a sitting duck down this straight. Fastest lap of the race, obviously that first flying lap on the slick tyres. That man there with the DRS. There's Pagani trundling down pit lane. He's going to come out, I think. Oh no, he's going to come up behind KC, is he? Instead of Daft Chip. Is indeed Matman trying to get the outside of Aaron Trucker. Yellow flag sector 2. It's Alex Pixie's gone. Is that going to be another safety car? It is. So that will bring the field. They get everybody now on fresh medium tyres. So we're going to have a 14-car train once again then. So Alex, who gambled early on those slicks, but I think he's just not quite worked. This is the safety car that he needed to catch the back of the pack. Unfortunately, he's caused it by retiring. So unfortunately, Alex's night is done. And that's our 4th retirement.
So I'm thinking, right? Because I need all the experience I can get, really.
Okay.
All the racing experience I can get.
Yeah.
Before I join this Wednesday league, because there's a lot of tough guys in that.
Certainly is, yeah. There's some very quick boys in the F1 community.
So I'm thinking, what if I try Div 2 racing?
Well, if there's a space available in the coming weeks, then yeah, you're more than welcome to. We've also got a social event next week. Obviously, with being a Christmas break now, we're having to rerun week 3 of Div 1 next Tuesday. But there's be some sort of social event, so you're welcome to dive into that. Yeah, so if there's any absences between now and the time that you join your new league, then yeah, happy to put you in. See how you get on against these guys, because yeah, so the Div 2 grid, the level of Div 2, when I joined FTRL in what was season 10, and we just expanded to 3 divisions. So I was in the brand new Div 3 as a complete noob. Obviously back down to just 2 divisions now, although with the amount of reserves we've got, we're about halfway to having 3 divisions again. But we'll persist with the 2 for now. And yeah, there was the level of driver in that Div 3 was very varied. There were some very quick boys who ended up being promoted to Div 1 later in that season. A couple of guys went to Div 2, and yeah, the rest of us noobs stayed in Div 3. It was a dramatic season, to say the least. That one glorious season of Div 3 that we had. The second season we lost a number of drivers, and yeah, people were just away a lot, and unfortunately we just back down to 2 divisions. But yeah, the quality of this second division is now well above the level that we had previously, so it's not an easy one to come into and win anymore. Evil Chris, for example, was in Div 1 for us last season, but he had the worst possible luck I've ever seen anybody experience in FTRL. The amount of first lap accidents he got caught up in through no fault of his own a lot of the time, a couple of spins in there as well, so he just couldn't get a good run. Thankfully, he's stayed with us. He's reserving for Div 2 at the moment, and he's fighting for strong victories, podiums, but he's not walking away with it. So there's still some very good drivers in this division. You are welcome to test yourself against them in the new year.
Which I will.
Good time. Looking forward to it. So you can laugh at Oscar as you go past his wrecked car, hopefully. So Oscar hoping to be back on Silverstone form next time out. And I can't even remember what the next race is, to be honest. Obviously we've got the Christmas break coming up. And then in the new year, let's have a look then at the calendar for season 18. And we kick off the new year in Hungary. It's always a popular one. So the Hungary will kick off the action in 2022. But we still have.
I'm surprised no one's gambled to go into the softs, because like, the softs will make it to the end.
Well, from here, yes. I saw a couple of guys go late last night, Dutch Tricks. I think they did run out of tyre just before the end, but like I say, it depends. Somebody at the back, maybe. I'll safety car in this lap now, so yeah, that opportunity is gone. And we all know these mediums will definitely get to the end, so now it's going to be a straight fight. Now, Aaron had a reasonably good launch after the safety car last time. He's staying close to it, so it's going to be a late go again. Safety car then going into the final corner. Aaron takes over at the front. When does he go? Not yet, not yet. Now he's gone. That man's gone with it. Katamis again looking racing. Oh, Katamis is already on him. Snaking down the straight. Aaron Trippier in defence. Katamis is alongside Batman. He was on his toes. They're too wide. Katamis been pinned right to the inside. As they fan out down the straight, they're 3 or 4 wide. Katamis moving over to the inside. Aaron takes one of Katamis up to 2.
Further back. Chris has been spun.
Oh no. And Chubbs is going down the order as well. Did they come together? Chubbs is still pointing in the right direction.
I can't remember who it was, but someone was down Chubbs' inside and went into the side of Chris, unfortunately, spinning him out.
Oh dear.
I think Chubbs has got damaged though for going into the back of, I think it was going into the back of Brutus, perhaps?
Indeed, so. Aaron Drucker got the jump. Katamis then on his toes up to P2. Staff chip now with a warning. That man down to 3rd, but hanging on there resolutely. Got Brutus all over him. Pagani back up to P5. There's that late pit stop has not hurt him too much. Up to 5th, Staff chip in 6th. Of course, he had to pit for a fresh wing after contact into the pit lane. And the fastest lap of the race. Casey just not able to hang with the pace again as gap opened up between Casey and Daft Chip. He's out of DRS range. I think Chubb's in the pit, so yeah, Chubb's got damage in that. Chris has been cruelly denied. Mattman and Brutus go wheel to 1. Mattman holding him off though. Oh, Brutus has such a good run there through 3. And he come out the side by side again. Wheel to wheel. And on the inside, Brutus is going to try and hang around the outside. Mattman goes in, aggressive, covers the line though. Good driving from Mattman. Hanging on to P3, but Brutus gets a really good run out of 5. Oh, side by side, Brutus is sideways. Pagani not able to find a way through. Mattman just pinched him to the apex. And we'll live to fight another day. Bossman with a penalty.
Who was going side by side again? Was it Daft and Pagani?
Pagani got Pagani got a bit of a run out the double right-hander. Found Brutus in his way, and maybe Daft maybe thought about sticking his nose in as well. Bossman going past Callum, meanwhile for 9th. Fever just ahead of him as well.
It was Brutus on that man. Brutus got he was really lucky to keep that actually.
Oh, indeed, yeah, it caught the contact on the inside, and usually in those instances the car on the inside will go around, so he had a bit of a twitch, but managed to save it. Not close enough for moving to 1 this time. Top 2 leading by 1.6 as a breakaway then. On lap 30 of 36, Aaron on course. Yeah, but he's got no ERS left. He's down to 6%, so he's burned his ERS up. Katamis is not much better off. Neither is Mattman, neither is Brutus. This is a track that you deploy a lot of ERS here. It's very difficult to regen. Fever's got 66%, so he's probably the highest of everybody on the grid. Even Chris recovering his P11 at the minute, but so unlucky for him once again. And the rotten luck continues. Chubb's now on the soft tyre, so expecting a fastest lap from him in the very near future.
Sorry, for a second I was just
Aaron Trucker almost drops it. Coming into the stadium section, he caught on the curb. That was a massive tank slapper, and he just about gathered it, but that's put Katamis right on him. And Mattman is back with them, so the top 2 who had broken away is now a 6-car train again. And DRS is re-enabled.
But yeah, sorry there for a second. My friend who was in a league race, I was being his race engineer. As Katamis done down the inside, he's in the lead.
Yeah, Katamis leads. Let's have a look at the penalty situation though. He's got 3 seconds, so Aaron can afford to just sit it. But Aaron picks up a penalty.
That's Mattman down the
here
inside.
Comes Mattman. Yep, Mattman coming now as well. Penalty situation is 3 seconds for Katamis, Mattman, Aaron and Brutus, your top 4. 9 seconds for Pagani, 11 for Daft Chip, then Casey Bernard's got none. Fever's got 3, Bossman 9, Callum 6, Evil Chris 3, Dylan 3, Zero Town 3 and Chubbs 9. So that's the tie penalty situation. Chubbs in the pits. I think he had a moment in the S's. Yeah, getting a fresh wing on. Katamis then back, and now is the net race leader. And also the actual race leader as well. Brutus up the inside of Aaron. Into the stadium, through he goes. Oh, Pagani to the back of Aaron because he got held up, and through goes Daft Chip. Got a terrible camera angle. Yep, Daft Chip's through. Did Pagani avoid damage? No, he didn't. He's in the pits. He got some damage in that. That's a shame for him. Really lucky. Yeah, Aaron just got held up as Brutus made the move. He was slow. Pagani just nowhere to go. Into the back of him. And that's some wing damage for him going onto the soft tyre. See what he can salvage from the end of this one. That leaves us then just 5 now for the lead. Matman closing in on Academies. Once again, Matman, brilliant return to form. We're now bathed in sunshine here.
Yeah, but yeah, as I was saying, my mate, I was being his race engineer for a race, and someone reported him for it, and he got a 5-place grid penalty, which is utter, I don't think that's fair, really.
We can continue to push forward despite the penalty. Katamis leading the way then on his return to FTRL, but Matman is right there. DRS is open, top 4, all with the same level of penalty. They've all got 3 seconds. Aaron Trucker, who was leading this race, has got swallowed up. But Katamis holding up. Matman got through. Brutus then stuck it down the inside. And finds himself shuffled back to P4. Oh yeah, with another penalty, he's now flying further back. Katamis weaving down the straight, then trying to break the toe. Everybody behind him has got DRS. They snake their way down the straight. Boss one sets the fastest lap. Matman to the outside. Is he going to go for the lead? Not this time. He'll have DRS again in a second though, coming out of 3. Brutus is right there as well. Here we go then. Pick your winner from these 5. Who do you think's going to win this one? Oh, Matman's gone deep into 4.
Sure.
Brutus around the outside. Matman's got there's contact. Oh, Aaron into the back of Brutus. Did he avoid any
Daft
damage?
Chip went into the back of Aaron as well, but I don't think there's any damage. Well, I think if these guys battle, Casey Bernard could have a chance at a podium here.
Oh, Brutus has got Matman. Oh, what a move. I think Matman had a wobble. And it's
Matman's got damage. It looks like he's got damage.
Can't see anything to his wing. Daft Chip making a move on Aaron Trucker. He's going to get boxed in though. No, he's got through. Daft Chip through down the inside of Matman into the stadium. Over the curb. There's contact.
Don't think much to award damage though, but Daft Chip is looking really racy on
round
these
the
tires.
outside. He goes.
Wow,
what a move. He's gone now deep into the final corner. Here comes.
Caught up to these guys.
Here comes Aaron on Matman. Academies has now broken DRS from Brutus. So Brutus doesn't have DRS. Daft Chip doesn't have DRS as well. Here comes Matman and Aaron blow past him in the straight because he's got no DRS. Matman back up to 3rd, but that battling has cost them. The top 2 have broken away. Matman now 2.3 off the back of Brutus, who is 1.2 behind Katamis. Is Katamis going to win on his return? He is 2.5 laps away. The 3 behind, trading blows. And like I say, Casey Bernard has got no penalties. Has caught right up to these 3 who are battling hard. He could jump onto the podium here. He's struggling for pace. Ellen Eva Chris in the background as well, recovered up to P7. It was a good recovery from him.
Very good.
Lead down to 1.1 seconds. Brutus just starting to chip away. Pagani is pushing the envelope. Looking at penalties further back, unfortunately. Daft Chip then, who was so aggressive last time around through the stadium, getting the move done on Aaron as they approach. Oh, I think Aaron there had a bit of a twitch coming out the final corner. They're now 4.4 seconds behind Brutus, who's in slipstream, well, he's in DRS range of Katowice. Now he hasn't got it down the start-finish straight, as Aaron makes the move on Matman. But will Brutus have it on the run-up to turn 4? Oh, he's got another penalty. Brutus with a second penalty.
For a second?
Go for it.
He's had a really good race. He's started in 14th, of course, which was the last. So
he's 18th, wasn't he? He started 18th. Brutus started 18th. He was dead last.
Yeah, he was dead last, but he's had a really good race here.
with that second penalty. Well, he's lucky that all the guys around him have got penalties as well, but he's got 4.3 seconds over Aaron, who's now broken clear of Matman. So is Matman maybe carrying a little bit of damage? He just seems to be struggling a little bit into the S's now. Evil Chris and Bossman have caught up as well now. And Trucker pulled the trigger. He's pulling away. They come into the stadium and then for the penultimate time, and Brutus is on Catamese, but Catamese, well, he's got the penalty advantage at the moment. Obviously, he doesn't want to pick up another one.
Chris down the inside.
And KC. Gets the move done. Bossman thinking about it as well. For the lead. Here comes Brutus. DRS is open. This time to the outside. Catamese can afford to let him go, provided he doesn't pick up another penalty. And then we'll get DRS again. Daftchip making the move now on Matman as well into one. Further back. Bossman through on KC. Despite not having any penalties, KC is getting shuffled back here. Evil Chris has dragged Bossman with him. Catamese then just needs to follow Brutus home. Stay within the track limits. Do not get another penalty on this lap. This is the final lap. Bossman with a penalty further back. Catamese just needs to stay within 3 seconds of the race leader. Not get another penalty. Don't attack those curbs, just stay right within the white lines. And it's going to be a victorious return. Into the stadium we go. Evil Chris has got the move on Bossman. Oh, into the wall.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think he might have lost traction, but I'm not 100% sure.
Brutus at the final corner. He's going to win on track. But that second penalty is going to kill him because Catamese will win the Mexican Grand Prix. Aaron Trucker, he will come home P3. Daftchip will cross the line P4. He does have a penalty and Evil Chris jumps in. KC goes 4th. Just misses out on a podium by 0.3 of a second. Aaron misses out on P2 by less than a tenth. So KC 4th, Matman is 5th, Evil Chris 6th, Fever 7th, Daftchip is 8th, Callum comes home P9, Bossman ending up P10, Pagani 11th. Dylan, P12 for Dylan. Go on, Dylan. His best result to date. And Zero Tau on debut is going to come in with P13. Smashes into Pagani's wrecked car. And our pole sitter, our early race leader, that's damage he picked up, just dropped him into the pack and he never got back to the sharp end, unfortunately. But he has made it to the flag. Eventually, he's going to do some donuts first. Celebrating, surviving. I think they're jobs. Don't get yourself disqualified now. Out of the final corner he comes. Crosses the line. And that is the final finisher to the Mexican Grand Prix. Well, a wet to dry race is always dramatic, and tonight was no exception. Brutus then gets driver of the day from 18th to 2nd. That was a stunning drive from him. But Catamese is back, and back with a bang, and back with a win on top of the podium. Aaron Trucker joining off on the podium as well. Great drive from him. Just getting shuffled back there once the racing resumed. So that's your first experience of a Div 2 race live. How was it for you, Jack?
It was fun to commentate on. Really brilliant battles throughout the whole grid. And yeah, it's going to be fun to hopefully race against them.
Indeed, it will win. So the final classifications are as follows. Catamese then with the win, starting P3 on the grid. Brutus from 18th comes home P2. Aaron rounding off the podium in P3. KC, of course, who won in the opening week at Silverstone, P4. Matman, oh, what could it be for him there? That win was dangling, tantalisingly close, but just eludes him, but he comes away with a P5, his best result of the season. Evil Chris, again, what could have been for him? That spin late on costing him a better result. It's P6 for him. Fever, just quietly going about his business, comes home P7. Daftchip in that battle for the podium, but with that penalty he got for the collision on the way into the pits, meant he only ends up P8. Callum P9, great job from him. Bossman rounding out the top 10 for Pagani, Dylan, Zero Tau and Chubbs rounding out the finishers with the retirements. Alex Pixie, Scuba Steve, Zombie and Oscar. And that then is the end of Div 2 for 2021. Of course, we are on our Christmas break for Div 1, for Div 2 next week. We have the rescheduled Baku race. We had some lobby issues last week with them, so we are back at Baku next week to hopefully get that race run. And that will end the F1 action for 2021. But of course, we've got GT Sport back tomorrow, the final week of GT15. We are at Lago Maggiore. The title has already been wrapped up. Mr. T. Smith once again crowned GT Sport champion, but there is still the matter of who's going to be runner-up and a couple of other good battles to keep an eye on, so do join us tomorrow for that. And yeah, so just 2 more days racing in 2021 for FTRL. Another great year of racing action drawing to a close, but not quite done yet. As ever, thank you to everybody who has joined us in the stream tonight, and for all the comments. If you haven't already, please do like the stream, that helps us out immensely. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for GT Sport if you are joining us. Thank you very much, Jack, for joining me tonight.
No worries, man.
And hopefully we'll get you a couple more times before you head off to do your other league. But yeah, from us for this evening, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon.